Hey guys, Roxy Saran, welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today we want to talk about frankincense essential oil. Not necessarily the properties, we'll talk a little bit about that at the end, but I do want to talk about the history of this ancient king of essential oils. Where does it come from and the history of it? I love doTERRA's co-impact sourcing, how we are a blessing on both sides of this bottle and the beautiful supply chain. So I can't wait to tell you more about frankincense essential oil. We are really glad that you're joining us today. Be sure to hit subscribe and the bell notification and also the like. Well, frankincense originates from a resin, and this resin has been highly valued as a trade commodity for many civilizations, including the Egyptians, the Assyrians, the Kushites, the Macedonians, and even the Persians. So these precious resins are primarily known as some of the most valuable in the world's oldest supply chain. Can you believe that? This precious resin that we have with frankincense. Well, doTERRA's essential oil that we derive from resin, doTERRA uses something very special, and it is a blend of 4 different types of resin of the Boswellia series. So there are different species. We use the Boswellia resin, 4 different spices. Well, they come from Northeast Africa and the Arabian Peninsula, and these 4 blends make up this beautiful essential oil that we have in our bottle right here with doTERRA essential oils. Now, some of these different species, they thrive in different soil types. So for example, the Boswellia carteri really thrives well in the sandy soil, whereas the Boswellia ferrera, it really thrives in a rocky and dry terrain. Isn't that amazing? All these different things about essential oils that we don't even know, and we get to use them right out of the bottle. So they do thrive in different soil types, but doTERRA sources from multiple locations so that we have this be able to provide this unique blend of certified pure tested grade essential oils, that we're able to have the opportunity to source frankincense from these regions of the world in a sustainable way. Not only do we get precious and pure essential oil, but we want to make sure it's sustainable for generations to come, so our children and their children's children can also benefit from this beautiful essential oil called frankincense. If you're ready to get started with doTERRA essential oils, we welcome you to go to roxysaran.com, where you can join our oily family right there, or if you just want to purchase a bottle of frankincense, you can do that right at roxysaran.com. Well, frankincense has been sought for over thousands of years. The trees grow in some of the poorest and most underdeveloped countries in the world. And so really that lack of development and also regulation really leads to these people being exploited by middlemen, actually multiple layers of middlemen that come in, promise them an average wage or a decent wage. They promise a lot of things and then it doesn't happen. So when doTERRA came in to these regions of the world and want to create a co-op with them and the harvesters and the growers, it was a very big challenge because they had been burned so many times before. The product had been given away and the payment wasn't made. So doTERRA had big expectations to make sure that everything that they said they would do, that they would do it. So I love partnering with doTERRA because everything that they have said that they would do, they did. One of the first things is they needed some heavy machinery to start digging water wells. Well, within 24 hours, doTERRA had the machinery there to partner with them and help them out. So those things are always the utmost important with doTERRA, is our relationship with the growers, and then the potency and the purity, of course, derives from that. So doTERRA does, some of the issues, of course, with the supply chain is that there have been incentives previously with other companies or other middlemen that have come in, is that they were over harvesting or they were unhealthy conditions for the trees and also for the harvesters. This is evident, of course, when there's too many cuts to the trees, or they're too deep, or there were not allowed enough rest in the time for the trees to heal properly. So this puts pressure on our ecological system, of course, and threatens the longevity that we can have these oils. And so doTERRA doesn't want to do that. So they came in, and we are proud to be leading the effort in supporting and research and sustainability to make sure that we have these precious, sacred, and historic trees for generations to come. Again, if you're ready to get started with doTERRA essential oils, we welcome you right at roxysaran.com to the oily family, or you can just purchase a bottle of frankincense right there at roxysaran.com. Okay, so doTERRA goes into these amazing communities and helps train and work with them as partners to enhance not only their knowledge of tree health, but also longevity. We are leading the charge in propagation initiatives and some of the first nurseries in these harvesting areas that are critically going to help ensure long-term viability. So for example, in Oman, we have a frankincense nursery and a plantation. And of course, with propagation efforts, it takes pressure off of the existing trees and to help replenish. Well, this year, we have over 20,000 more frankincense trees that have been planted in Oman. Okay, in Ethiopia, we support reforestation and developing a wonderful program to revitalize the frankincense tree population. So the threat a lot of times for the land is that it's being converted to residential or commercial land or even other farming opportunities. And so what doTERRA does, we function as a cooperative, a co-op, where we're organizing harvesters, and it helps with sorters and shopkeepers in the network. And so they're able to provide fair wages and on-time payments. Sometimes we pay in food or in cash prepayments, and that are spread throughout the year to ensure that they are taken care of. I love this about doTERRA. I don't know about you, but what if we were a farmer and we only got paid one time a year? What would that look like? It's hard because we have monthly bills and expenses. I love that doTERRA does prepayments on a monthly basis for them because they need to pay their bills monthly as well. I think about myself in that situation that we would want that as well. Sometimes, like we mentioned earlier, they're in third world countries, they don't have what we have. Money means nothing to them in some instances. So doTERRA pays in chickens or goats or whatever they need, sometimes in food instead of necessarily money. And I love that. When you're using frankincense from doTERRA, you know not only are you getting the most pure essential oil on the planet, most tested, most trusted, but you are blessing lives all over the world. And that is really important to us when we are giving back to the world. All right, in Somaliland, we are working right now on a construction of a warehouse, different warehouses where the resins are collected and sorted. They again function as a co-op, and that is so cool. That not only that helps us to ensure potency and purity because we work closer to the source, right with the harvesters, as opposed to multiple layers of middlemen. Of course, when we work with middlemen, which doTERRA does not, but other companies do, what happens is the price goes up and the quality goes down with each layer that you introduce into the supply chain. So again, we provide more stable and reliable income for these families. Fairness is very important, and also employment and security. I love that about doTERRA. If you are ready to get started with doTERRA essential oils, go to roxysaran.com. We would love to help you there. Or if you just want to buy a bottle of this amazing frankincense oil, go to roxysaran.com. Okay, so it takes half a pound of frankincense resin to yield one 15 ml bottle of frankincense. You have 250 amazing drops in here. Okay, so half a pound of resin, let me think on that. Well, the average frankincense tree yields a couple of pounds of frankincense resin every year. So if you think about it, every tree in that area, it can yield maybe four bottles of frankincense every year. This is amazing. The sheer amount of trees that we need to be able to provide this pure essential oil for our amazing doTERRA customers. So the frankincense tree, not only does it provide a couple pounds a year, but if it is cared for properly, which is everything that we are teaching our harvesters and growers, it can produce for hundreds of years with that same tree. Isn't that amazing? There are over 100 different published studies on frankincense essential oil on pubmed.gov. Will you take a minute today and go to pubmed.gov and just look up frankincense and see what you find? Well, frankincense essential oil partners really well with sandalwood essential oil, another resin. It partners really well with peppermint for focus, concentration. Partners really well with lemon for invigorating, uplifting, and even provides a detox and immune enhancement. Partners with wild orange for uplifting your mood, also helps with those heart palpitations or maybe some feelings of anxiousness. And lastly, copaiba, which helps with all things brain, cardiovascular, all of your different body systems. They partner very well together for cellular health. Frankincense is an enhancer or a driver oil. So if you're using another oil with it, you can partner it, layer it with it, and it'll drive your other essential oil deeper. So it's a driver oil. Frankincense is predominantly known for cellular health, and it helps at the root cause. It also helps with a lot of skin imperfections. So I love using frankincense in all of my skin regime, and also for a healthy immune system, and it helps support a healthy nervous system. It also helps provide a very calming experience and environment when you diffuse it. So these are the top things that you can do with frankincense. Please let me know in the comments below what was your favorite part of this video. I would love to see you in the next video. Be sure to hit the subscribe and bell notification, and also the like. Our next video, we'll be talking about Arbor Vitae, the tree of life.